I've been to the Olympics with boxing. I've been to 5 different weight classes, and I fought the best in my era. The key punch in boxing is the jab.
Hold me back. You fucking stop.
For his upcoming showdown with Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford is shaking up his training routine by trying new methods and bringing in a fresh trainer. The main focus is on workouts designed to help him manage his weight differently ahead of the big night. After a tough training session, Mayweather and Crawford shared a lighthearted sparring match, pushing each other to the limit in the ring. Terence Crawford kicked off a quick training camp after recovering from an illness to prepare for his September fight against Canelo Alvarez. While it's not surprising that the undisputed world champion plans to increase his training intensity as the fight nears, he's already off to a strong start. He's exploring new training methods and focusing on gaining weight, ensuring that his smaller frame won't be a disadvantage in the ring.
I think, I take more chances,
Excuse me, Crawford.
right now. But earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So,
As Crawford mentioned, he and Mayweather have a lot in common. However, boxing fans and analysts often debate who would come out on top in a fight between the two. According to a recent report, Crawford would likely win, especially when it comes to pure fighting skill. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is widely regarded as one of the best in that category.
Which Floyd Mayweather you talk about? Do you talk about money or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was what is seek and destroy.
Mayweather became known for defeating many opponents by timing his jabs flawlessly and mastering the art of counterpunching. He was able to do this consistently across 2 different versions of himself throughout his career.
Reach from the left hooks again. The lightning hand speed extraordinary. Left hook drops him, and then he hit his head off the en masse here at the end.
As Crawford mentioned, Pretty Boy Floyd was the more aggressive fighter, always taking the fight to his opponents. Years later, Money Mayweather evolved, figuring out how to defeat his opponents with precise boxing, regardless of the style. Whether you prefer one version or the other, Floyd Mayweather Jr. became a legend through both approaches. Boxing fans still marvel at Crawford's performance against Spence in his last fight, where he showcased a powerful jab that constantly pierced through Spence's guard, punching in tight spaces and timing his counterpunches perfectly. His ability to fight in such a dominant way, especially against someone as skilled as Spence, was remarkable. When it comes to pure boxing skill, it's hard to imagine anyone easily beating Mayweather, but Crawford's style, different yet explosive, brings its own set of challenges. If Crawford were to face Mayweather in his prime, using his pinpoint shots against Mayweather's sharp, scientific approach, the matchup would be fascinating. Who would land the first jab? Who would master the counterpunch? There are so many ways this fight could unfold, making it difficult to pick a clear winner. In fact, this might just be a draw in terms of boxing skill. We've seen Mayweather repeatedly lure his opponents to the center of the ring, where he would analyze their moves, process the information, and then devise a strategy to break them down. His ability to outthink his opponents, combined with his mantra of hit and not get hit, earned him a place in the Hall of Fame as an undefeated 5-division world champion. Crawford, who became undisputed at both junior welterweight and welterweight, has also demonstrated impressive ring IQ throughout his career. Mayweather was known for his hand speed, particularly when counterpunching, but Crawford's ability to cut angles and deliver fast, whip-like shots gives him a speed advantage. Of Mayweather's 50 wins, 27 came by knockout, while Crawford has 40 wins with 31 knockouts, and he's still active in the ring. Crawford's incredible ring IQ was on full display when he faced Spence, dropping him 3 times on his way to a dominant 9th-round TKO. Taking on a power-punching, body-snatching fighter like Spence, who had systematically broken down top fighters like Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and Yadenis Ugas to become the unified world welterweight champion, was no easy feat yet. Crawford made it look effortless, and his power played a significant role in that. Meanwhile, Mayweather perfected his defense with the Philly shell, raising his shoulder to absorb shots while using his free hand to land his counters. This technique, defensive boxing combined with counterpunching, was pure artistry at its finest.
It's unbelievable. You young boxing fans that are watching Floyd Mayweather, you're seeing one of the greatest defensive fighter of all time. I mean, that's how strong.
You're wearing, then he's nowhere. You think you...
And again, it's not just hand...
Crawford definitely has slick defense, but Mayweather took defensive boxing to an entirely new level, almost reaching perfection with his technique. If a fight between Crawford and a prime Mayweather were to take place, it would likely unfold in a tense first round where both fighters are testing each other out. Crawford would likely be the busier fighter early on, launching and landing shots, even if many are absorbed by Mayweather's shoulder and elbow. As the fight progresses into the middle rounds, Mayweather's style would start to dominate. He'd pepper Crawford with jabs and land clean counters, winning several rounds as his defensive mastery and precision counterpunching take over. It would be a fascinating tactical battle, but Mayweather's experience and defensive brilliance would likely give him the edge in a close contest.
The head, the way he rolls with punches, but the way he makes them miss. I mean, here we go. Through a series of punches and nothing really landed. Terrific fight for Mayweather.
With steady pressure, Crawford's firepower could potentially break through Mayweather's defense, even landing enough shots to hurt the legendary boxer at times. While it would be a close fight, Crawford's relentless pressure and volume could be enough to win over the judges, especially with his ability to land powerful, slashing punches. Crawford's exceptional skills and unbeaten record showcase the result of years of dedicated training and physical preparation. His approach to training for the Canelo Alvarez fight combines intense physical conditioning with a sharp mental game, setting him apart in the boxing world. Crawford's current routine is a mix of activities designed to enhance his boxing skills and maintain peak physical form. His workouts improve punch power and help him gain the necessary weight to face Canelo. A typical day in his training camp includes circuit training with weights, strength and conditioning workouts to boost speed and agility, and core work where McIntyre bounces a heavy medicine ball off Crawford's stomach while he does crunches. Additionally, he incorporates mountain runs and swimming to build endurance. Terence Crawford is especially fond of swimming as part of his cardio training. He swims for 30 minutes to an hour every night, which is gentle on the joints and helps with recovery and muscle regeneration. Although swimming isn't natural for him, he pushes himself harder to make it work. It's a different type of cardio compared to running, and he believes it greatly benefits his conditioning. After swimming, Crawford moves on to his boxing training, where he's always refining both his offensive and defensive skills. His ability to switch between different stances is one of his standout features. Initially, his coaches encouraged him to stick to one stance, but they eventually realized that training him in both was more effective. Crawford still practices this today. Early in his career, Crawford was so talented that even seasoned fighters like Timothy Bradley were impressed by his skills. Now, he's one of the best boxers in the world, and other fighters often come to him for sparring. But Crawford's skills are so sharp that most of them don't win. While Crawford is known for his right hand, he's also incredibly skilled with his left. During sparring, he often uses his world-class left hand to show his versatility. Developing punching power requires a lot of hard work, and Crawford is no exception. One of the key tools for this is the heavy back. He uses it to perfect his hitting technique and strengthen his shoulders. Watching Crawford in action, you can see him delivering powerful punches, quick combinations, and everything in between. To get the most from his training, he varies the pace of his punches, sometimes hitting the bag softly, other times with full force. This practice is a crucial part of Crawford's training regimen, helping him improve his overall boxing skills. He's been working with his trainers for most of his life, and one of the key aspects of his routine is practicing on the pads with his coaches. During these sessions, Crawford doesn't focus on speed or power. Instead, he works on different offensive and defensive scenarios, honing his technique and tactics. He and his trainers also use tools like reaction noodles and a punch shield to boost movement and accuracy. Crawford is a phenomenal shadow boxer with impressive skills, and one of his standout qualities is his ability to stay calm and adjust to different situations in the ring. Whether he's throwing offensive or defensive punches, he makes it look effortless. But Crawford's toughness is equally remarkable. He often trains in challenging situations to push his limits. When he's not in those tough scenarios, he likes to shadow box with 2 kilograms dumbbells. This helps him build strength while maintaining speed and agility, allowing him to hit hard without sacrificing footwork. Constantly striving for improvement, Crawford focuses on refining his accuracy and timing. To do this, he uses a unique training tool known as the double end bag. This bag helps him practice footwork and head movement, vital skills for any boxer in the ring. Crawford's trainer, Brian McIntyre, also uses sticks during training to surprise Crawford and force him to react defensively. This adds an extra layer of unpredictability to his training, sharpening his defensive skills. As for his nutrition, Crawford follows a plan focused on lean proteins, complex carbohydrates, and hydration to ensure optimal performance and recovery throughout his camp. Crawford relies on his coach to manage everything related to food. "My chef tells him what she wants me to eat, and she prepares it," Crawford explained to Muscle and Fitness. "The last time she was with me for the full camp, she handled everything with the food. I don't really think about it. I just eat what they cook for me."
405. There you go.
Mikey Garcia, the younger brother of Robert Garcia, who was named Manager of the Year by Ring Magazine, was one of the critics of the highly anticipated fight. The former featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, and super lightweight champion shared his doubts during an interview with Fight Hub TV. While the fight is one of the most desired by fans, Garcia expressed that he wasn't fully supportive of it. "I'm not a big fan of that fight," Garcia said, pointing out the significant weight difference between the Mexican and American fighters. He also recalled how Crawford struggled when he moved up to 154 pounds in the past, particularly against Israel Maduma, which raised concerns for him.
There are too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now,
despite Crawford's seemingly superior skills, Mikey Garcia believes the size difference would be the deciding factor in a potential matchup. He feels that Canelo's size and speed would give him the edge in the fight. "That's why I'm not a fan of that fight," Garcia said, emphasizing Crawford's success at 140 and 147 pounds. Now, at 154, that's even bigger for him. Garcia added that if Crawford really wanted to challenge himself, he could aim for an undisputed title in his current division, but acknowledged that there's not much money in that. Garcia noted that a fight between Canelo and Crawford would generate significant revenue, but as a fan of the sport, he's not in favor of the matchup. He would prefer to see Canelo face fighters within his weight class or above, such as Artur Beterbiev or a rematch with Dmitry Bivol. "I want to see him challenge himself at 175, not fight a smaller guy moving up in weight," Garcia stated. As the long-anticipated showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez continues to stir excitement and debate within the boxing community, more professionals are sharing their opinions. Crawford, celebrated for his versatility and technical prowess, is considering moving up 2 weight classes to challenge the undisputed super middleweight champion, a bold move that has sparked divided opinions among boxing experts.
Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts. Yeah. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size.
One notable voice in the debate is former heavyweight world champion Deontay Wilder. In a recent interview, Wilder expressed concerns about Crawford's significant weight jump from 147 pounds to 168 pounds. "That's way too much," Wilder stated. "Although you can move from southpaw to orthodox, when you're facing those bigger guys, it's a different feeling." It's like you're a baby. I'm not saying you can't knock anyone out or punish them, but it takes more time going up in weight. The way punches are received is entirely different than with smaller opponents. Since Wilder's remarks, Crawford has taken a step forward in closing the weight gap by capturing the World Boxing Association's super welterweight title. However, even with this achievement, a daunting 14-pound difference remains between him and Canelo Alvarez, which could play a critical role in the fight's outcome. Canelo, known for his relentless punching power and stamina, has firmly established himself as a dominant force in the super middleweight class. Despite 2 career defeats, both by decision, Canelo has consistently showcased remarkable defense and resilience, solidifying his status as one of the toughest competitors in boxing. This matchup promises to be an electrifying spectacle, but it also presents a monumental challenge for Crawford.
There. You know what I mean? That's going to be a good one. Both of them great guys. They got great talent. And both of them very determined. Got that killer instinct.
To succeed, the Omaha native, Terence Crawford, will need to display extraordinary adaptability and resilience against an opponent of Canelo's caliber in a higher weight class. While Wilder's concerns about the weight disparity are valid, the allure of this fight is hard to ignore, as it pits 2 of boxing's elite talents against each other. This clash of styles and raw power has fans eagerly awaiting what could be one of the sport's most gripping events. It's surprising that Canelo Alvarez already has a guaranteed opponent for 2025, not for the May date, but for his second fight of the year, planned for September. This event will take place during Mexico's Independence Weekend in Las Vegas. After much insistence, it seems that Terence Crawford, with the backing of Alec Turkey Alec, will be his opponent for this highly anticipated fight. However, as Alvarez is set to accept this challenge, it comes with a hefty price tag. According to boxing insider Ray Jackson, Canelo Alvarez is expected to receive $150 million for the fight, a figure the Guadalajara native had already mentioned in late 2023. Alvarez stated that if they wanted him to consider the fight, the payment would need to be substantial. With this payment, Canelo Alvarez will return to the top of the list of the highest-paid boxers and athletes in 2025, a position from which he had dropped out the previous year. The potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford in September could become one of the most interesting bouts of the last decade. The year 2025 has begun with exciting developments for boxing fans, with a series of eagerly awaited fights, and this showdown is one of them. The fight is set to be a massive event, thanks to the efforts of Alec Turkey Alec, who reportedly held a meeting with Canelo to discuss the business terms and a multi-million-dollar purse for the rights to his upcoming fights. Allegedly, an agreement was reached to stage the Crawford vs. Canelo bout in mid-September as part of Mexico's Independence Day celebrations. However, the biggest question surrounding this fight is not the matchup itself, but the significant weight gap between the 2 fighters. Several experts, including legendary figures such as Mike Tyson, have expressed concerns about how Crawford will handle the weight disparity of 14 pounds between him and Canelo. Legendary trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas also weighed in on the fight, stating that he would find it hard to go against Crawford, praising his appetite and aptitude for challenging himself. Very few people have the courage to take on such a challenge, Atlas said. Father Time might catch him, but I don't know if a weight class can catch him.
As one of the top 5 fights that he wants to see this year. Is that a fight that you're considering now?
We'll see. We'll see. Everything's possible. We'll see. We want to talk about it, sit down really well and figure out something.
I know you thought he was kind of a lose-lose.
It's a great challenge because Canelo is a tremendous fighter, bigger, stronger, and capable of landing powerful punches while timing his opponent perfectly. But just because Crawford is smaller doesn't mean he'll back down. He's proven time and time again that he can come up with a strategy that forces his opponent to use their size to his advantage. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Crawford's trainer, Brian McIntyre, gave high praise to the undefeated fighter, who is rumored to be facing Canelo in May or September. Crawford has all the tools to win a 3rd weight class undisputed crown, McIntyre said. Any serious boxing fan knows Crawford has what it takes to beat Canelo. Only those who truly understand the sport can say that. That's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and action in the world of boxing, stay linked with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications to get alerted whenever we drop more quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.